me? For real? Oh.
You can call from the Bahamas using Rev Boy's prepaid home phone service and prepaid chat cards for much less.
Hey girl, are you ready?
You get free unlimited on-island calls, voicemail, and no internet service or ID is required.
Hello?
Rev Boy's prepaid home phone service and prepaid chat cards.
Hey,
Staying in touch never sounded so good.
Good evening, Bahamas, and thanks for joining us at MB12. Coming up tonight in news, outrage as visa services at the United States Embassy in Nassau are suspended in the wake of an attack on a U.S. diplomat. Government officials speak out on the possible impact crime against visitors may have on the country, a move to address inefficiencies in the criminal justice system, and the top cause of traffic fatalities in the Bahamas revealed. We have those stories and much more coming up tonight. I'm Christina McNeil, and your MB12 starts right now. A strong message to the government after one of its diplomats was assaulted and robbed on the way to church Sunday morning. The United States Embassy has taken further action in the aftermath of that incident. Royston Jones was outside the embassy this morning and filed this report.
More than a dozen Bahamians, some who flew in from the Family Islands, were turned away from the U.S. Embassy this morning after U.S. officials told the frustrated crowd that visa services to Bahamians had been suspended. The explanation they were given was that the embassy was short-staffed.
I have to go back online, reschedule, and make another appointment explaining that you were here and the embassy could not process you.
What's that?
It could cause delays, and because if we're down officers, we don't have the staff to process you. So it could cause visa appointment delays in future.
Do we have to repay the schedule?
No, you do not have to repay, no. I know, but it's not our fault. Our officer was assaulted and not here to do her job. It's not our fault.
Are you on strike?
No, we are not on strike.
While U.S. officials declined to go on record, our news team understands that U.S. personnel was the victim of an armed robbery on Sunday morning as she walked from West Hill Street here to St. Francis. Police confirmed over the weekend that around 11 a.m., a 74-year-old American diplomat assigned to the embassy was accosted, robbed, and injured during an armed robbery on her way to church. Superintendent Paul Roll, who heads the Central Detective Unit, said a man approached the woman, threw her to the ground, and stole her purse, cash, and jewelry before making good his escape by bicycle. In a statement following the incident, the embassy said the event reaffirmed its serious concern for the safety of United States citizens residing in and visiting the Bahamas. Outside the embassy today, tempers flared as Bahamians and other foreign nationals insisted that they should not be made to suffer.
From Belgium on a boat, we have to be away from here for the hurricane season.
I understand, but...
No, you don't understand.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
We need staff. We need staff to
Oh, come on.
process people.
One person is not there and you cannot
It's
work.
okay. It's how it is.
I think it's a scandal.
It is
It's
a
a scandal.
It's a scandal for
And
us.
guess what? My daughter was vice consul. I can't see you all holding a nation of people, your people, my people, for something would happen.
We're not
They're
holding
sorry for
anyone.
that.
You
They're
are
sorry
holding
too.
us.
You can't hold us.
It's not
You
my
are holding
decision.
us.
Very bad.
Do we
It's
get the
not my
refund for the
decision.
money we pay?
You can try to see if you can get
No,
a
no.
refund.
Do you promise a refund for this money?
I don't promise anything to anyone
But that's
other
not
than
fair.
try to
You
make
know
another
it's the father up
appointment.
above.
Regina Johnson, an elderly New Providence resident, said she waited outside the embassy for more than 5 hours to be denied service. Several other residents expressed frustration and told MB12 the embassy was not considering the money they had spent in the process of applying for a visa.
They're saying that because of the lady that got robbed yesterday morning, which I'm so sorry and hurt, because they got to stop doing this foolishness because they're making our, Bahamas, they shouldn't be doing this. But I don't feel like they should hold us hostage for one person when they could fly in somebody from Miami or somewhere in 15, 25 minutes, and people have been out here from morning, Now they're saying that maybe in 2 days or so, they ain't sure you can get your money back. I don't think that's fair.
It's only one person to do all of this? After all that money? No, I don't think so.
So, I mean, it's bad on two ways, you feel me? On both sides, it's bad. For them beating up the woman and hospitalizing the lady, you understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, you gotta look out for the Bahamian people. You see? You don't know where we get this money from, you don't know how long people saving up to get their money to do this. And plus you have to reschedule your situation on time. They give you a date, they then implement this date, you still come back here, you still gotta come back here again, you know, that don't make no sense.
Nothing we can do, we just need to deal with the crime in the country.
You flew in today?
Yes.
Okay, now what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go home and apply.
Okay.
And she says, even though it seems like we're gonna get reimbursed, you gotta pay again.
Reports of Americans being targeted by robbers have been surfacing in the headlines more frequently. A warning was sent out following the murder of an American tourist during an armed robbery last month. Today, an internal warning was sent out to all U.S. citizens living in the Bahamas, cautioning them of the threat of armed robberies and other serious crimes. Reporting for NB12, I'm Royston Jones.
Well, Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell expressing deepest regret and concern about the attack of the embassy's vice consul yesterday, pointing to the unexpected and adverse effect it has had on operations at the Nassau embassy. However, Mitchell did have some good news as he addressed parliamentarians in the House of Assembly today.
I made known our concern at these developments even while understanding the situation. I'm happy now to report that I've been informed by the Charge that visa processing will resume again tomorrow morning. The embassy's charge has also indicated that a statement will go out to the press today. Those who were not processed today will get a call to reschedule their appointments. Processing through the Lyndon Pindling International and Grand Bahama International airports continued without interruption today.
However, Tourism Minister Obi Wilshcombe says the Bahamas is approaching a dangerous point when it comes to crimes against visitors to our shores. He pointed to examples where the United States has taken a hardline approach to countries frequented by its citizens, outright warning them against visiting certain locations. He says all Bahamians must be on the lookout and join the fight against crime.
It's terrible news. Very disappointing to hear that the levels of crime continues, and we are still faced with circumstances that are, in my view, putting us in the face of danger and disaster. In our country, we are dealing with a situation where we must bring crime under control, and those persons who are engaged must appreciate that they are causing irrevocable damage to our nation, its image, its reputation.
And while national security and police officials have indicated that crime is going down according to the figures, others maintain that the fear of crime is on the rise. Opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis is one of them, who says the time has come for this administration to admit that crime is not a government problem, but a national problem, and it's never too late to ask for help. This as Speaker of the House of Assembly Dr. Kendall Major sent a message to young men to clean up their acts and begin contributing to the country rather than bringing it down.
Now the crime is being confined not only to the Bahamian populace, but it's now affecting our tourists and now moving into the diplomatic corps. That's a serious situation, and a warning advisory has already gone out with respect from the U.S. as well as the cruise ship, and that's going to affect the economy dramatically. I think now is the time, if the government has not recognized that this is beyond them, now is the time for them to seek help. They must ask the opposition for help. They must ask the church for help. They must ask the community for help.
When we hurt ourselves and hurt others, we bring disdain to our nation. And so from where I sit, I'd certainly like to appeal to all the young men under the sound of my voice to let us work together in harmony to build this country. We only have one country to build. And let us put our hands together and our hearts and bring relief to our people by working together to make this a better place.
Mitchell indicated he will keep the House of Assembly informed of developments into the investigation and the effect it may or may not have on visa services. Well, according to a statement issued by the U.S. Embassy this afternoon, non-immigrant visa services will be available on a reduced basis beginning tomorrow. Immigrant visa and citizen services are still operational. Again, applicants with interviews scheduled for this time will be contacted to reschedule their appointments. Meanwhile, police are on the hunt for two men who reportedly stole a bag containing an undetermined amount of cash from two visitors. Police say the pair was in the area of Woodcock Primary on Hospital Lane around 12:30 today when they were robbed. Police are asking anyone with information into this incident to contact them at 919 or the nearest police station. In the meantime, police are encouraging all members of the public to be aware of their surroundings and always be on the alert. The budget debate in the House of Assembly continuing this morning with State Minister for Legal Affairs Damian Gomez giving a somewhat scathing review of both Supreme and civil court trials. Jasmine Bonmi was at the House of Assembly and filed this report.
During his lengthy contribution in the House of Assembly this morning, Gomez revealed that he was disappointed with how slowly criminal cases move through the justice system. Gomez said the number of cases being heard in a calendar year is simply unacceptable. According to the state minister, over the last 12 months, 89 criminal trials have been heard in the Supreme Court.
Over the last 12 months, we tried 89 criminal trials. In a 52-week year, with 5 criminal courts going, that is simply unacceptable. We ought to be trying far more criminal trials in the Supreme Court than that. And while this inefficient result is not an attempt to blame any member of the judiciary, it points to the need for us to focus on improving.
According to Gomez, 2 new judges will be appointed soon, and it is hoped they will be working solely on the criminal side of the court. But even that, he said, may not be enough. Gomez said, simply put, judges must do more. He adds that civil courts aren't doing much better, with judgments in some cases taking up to 2 years to be handed down. Gomez said this is especially unacceptable, with the Privy Council and Caribbean Court of Justice indicating judgments should only take 3 to 6 months to be handed down.
Quite frankly, Mr. Speaker, we have over 50 cases which are well older than the 6-month period, and judgments have not been rendered.
While he admits it will take more than a simple solution, Gomez said the fact remains that more accountability is needed in the justice system.
In order to meet what is happening today, we just have to work harder in every single department at being more efficient with time and more efficient with the resources that we have.
But the Minister of State said even with the difficulties he's outlined, crime is trending downward and the response to crime is ever evolving. Reporting for NB12, I'm Jasmine Bonami.
Well, the backlog of criminal cases in the judicial system isn't helping with the swift administration of justice. But Attorney General Allison Maynard Gibson is proposing there be constitutional changes she believes will streamline the hearing of cases, preventing them from being stalled. Paige McCartney sat in on her contribution to the Constitutional Reform Commission and filed this report.
Among other things, the Attorney General is suggesting that the Constitution be changed so that judges determine whether criminal trials be heard by a jury or a judge alone. As it stands, all felony criminal cases are heard by jury.
According to Maynard Gibson, trials by jury contribute significantly to the deficiencies in the judicial system. The problems associated with the jury system are partly because of the small pool in this jurisdiction and can include members of the jury pool having to recuse themselves because they know the defendants and attempts to influence or intimidate the jury.
The possibility of jury tampering, a witness, a key witness is afraid to give evidence, possible gang membership, and also the nature of the matter that might involve sequestration, and also weighty evidence might be such that the judge might, either of his own accord or on the application of the prosecution, order a trial by judge alone.
Maynard Gibson is of the view that if the Constitution allows for it, clearly defined circumstances where criminal matters may be tried by judges alone would better serve the criminal justice system. She said other instances where trial by judge alone would be most beneficial are where witnesses may be afraid to testify before a jury, or the complexity and length of the trial is likely to be burdensome for a jury.
One of the reasons, and this is empirical evidence to support this, that one of the reasons for our backlog are the inefficiencies that are endemic or inherent in the jury system.
As for civil court, Maynard Gibson said in instances where some matters may have taken more than 2 years to reach judgment or are repeatedly being appealed, the time may have come for the introduction of some form of judicial misconduct to hold judges more accountable. She said the law needs to be clarified to set a standard for judicial conduct.
Given a system that has its challenges and that needs to be fixed, a part of which is that some cases are more than 2 years outstanding, it may be time for us to look at whether or not we do need to put in our Constitution, as other countries have done, another ground or define a ground of judicial misconduct.
The Attorney General also noted that the government intends to make an announcement in short order on the introduction of public defenders to provide counsel for people charged with serious offenses who do not have the means to attain proper representation. For MB12, I'm Paige McCartney.